Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Tuesday, October the 5th. Tuesday mornings, we catch up with 18-term U.S. House Representative Fred Upton of St. Joseph, whose district at this point does contain Allegan County. He joins us via the Zoom connection. Fred, good morning, and no work for Congress this week, or it's just a little bit of a break before the holiday next Monday?
Well, the Senate's in, but the House is out. So I'm home all week long. A lot of different events across the district. And after a long slog last week, I am glad to be home.
Long slog is one thing. You're not making a slog over to Howell today to see the president speak over at a union training center, trying to push his agenda a little bit forward in a district that the Congresswoman is not totally on board with the plan right now.
No, I'm going to be I think I'm in Berrien County all day long. I'm not going to make it over to Howell. Not on my bucket list today, that's for sure.
But the thing is, the president is basically putting somewhat of a full court press, trying to get some of the more moderate Democrats into the fold over, especially that $3.5 trillion spending plan. Right now, it's got the Democrats hung up, let alone trying to get any Republicans supporting on this thing.
Well, the issue here, there's probably a majority of the Democrats certainly support that $3.5 trillion spending plan. It's coupled with real changes, tax hikes from the Trump tax cuts that were enacted back in 2017. And those changes alone mean that there's not a single Republican in either the House or the Senate that's going to vote for it. But frankly, there's a number of, I'll call them conservative Democrats, who don't want to see those tax hikes either. They realize that that's what spurred the growth of the economy. We've done a lot of spending over the last couple of years, not only with the Trump administration and the COVID packages that were there, and they were correct, and over 400 votes in the House to get those things done, to get us through that. But the last Biden plan, which was again well over $1 trillion, was on a sole Democrat voting scheme. Not a single Republican voted for it, but there's, the states are flush with cash right now. One of the things that the House did with this, or the bipartisan plan, which despite Pelosi's promise to bring it up earlier last week, one of the things that it did, it was paid for, and was paid for in large by recapturing some of that money that was spent out in the last couple of COVID packages that haven't been spent. In essence, targeting or prioritizing those funds towards what we would call traditional infrastructure, roads and highways, replacing our lead service lines for water, broadband, as well as making sure that our energy security, whether it be the pipelines or the electric grids, are safe, secure, and resilient.
Now, some are saying that to help pay for some of the proposed spending, lock down a little bit more of the loopholes on taxes, raise taxes and along the lines. And then one proposal that has some people really up in arms is having the IRS force financial entities, savings and banks and stuff like that, to monitor any account or transaction over $600. Now, I know this is more along Bill Heisinger's line, but I would assume you might be getting some howls from some of your constituents on this idea too.
We're getting a lot of calls, and of course that proposal is in the $3.5 trillion proposal, the reconciliation bill, not the BIF, not the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which Pelosi had promised to vote on and then reneged. It didn't happen. But yeah, the Treasury Department under Biden, what they want to do, and believe me, I've been hearing from not only angry constituents, but frankly, our local lenders as well, whether they be credit unions or community bankers, they would be put under the gun to report every single transaction that any of their customers makes that exceeds $600. So you got a mortgage payment, you got an American Express bill, maybe you got a car payment, you got a student loan payment, I mean, anything, you got a utility bill, a water bill, whatever. every single one would have to be cataloged, reported to the IRS, and who knows what they're going to do with it. I'm hoping we can stop that. We had a procedural vote to end it last week. We failed by only a couple of votes, but I'll tell you, the heat's getting up there on that front burner. And I gotta hope that at the end of the day, we'll find some Democrats that will join virtually every Republican, whether it be a financial services committee issue that Bill Huizenga does a good job for us on that committee, or a Ways and Means issue, because they have jurisdiction over the IRS as well. So let's put this issue to rest and prevent it from happening.
Now, Fred, well, you mentioned the fact that the Senate is in session. The House is off right now. Senate Commerce Committee will be hearing from that whistleblower about Facebook's situation as well. Are you getting any vibes on your side, as you are a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee as well, that a look into Facebook might be in the cards for your committee as well?
Well, I think that we might. I don't serve on that particular subcommittee. We have jurisdiction on the full committee. We've had Zuckerberg testify in the past, some time ago. I think we're all concerned about it. And then, of course, you look at the outages that we had this last night, rather, a number of our websites that went out. So I think there's going to be a little splaining to do, as they say it, over in the Senate today.
Yeah, well, they'll be over in the Senate. We'll see whether or not the House will take a look at it. The Remain in Mexico policy, the Biden administration wants to have that go bye-bye. You're not a happy camper about that.
Well, I'm not. Look, we need comprehensive immigration reform. It needs to happen. But in the meantime, we have to secure our border. And one of the things that Trump did, and was a wise one, was to change the asylum policy. So you had to stay in another country before you applied for asylum here. Because if you got here, you're in, who knows where you're going to go. People are not reporting. Let's face it, it's a sham. So unfortunately, Biden changed that policy, and he's fighting it. We're trying to reverse it. We're trying to get it back to where it was before. Literally, we're having more than 100,000 folks cross that border every single month, way over what we had before. Let's figure out what worked before. Let's go back to it, and then use that as a means to ultimately enact immigration reform, whether it's taking care of the dreamers, a whole number of different things that we need to do. But as a first step, we got to secure that border.
And we'll see if those moves do come up. Fred Upton, as always, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much for your thoughts and sharing them with us. Wish you and your family well over the next week or so. And if all goes well, hey, let's do this again next Tuesday morning.
I think it'll happen.
Thank you very much, Fred Upton, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.